morning, namaste. Sing along with me wherever you are, please. I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. You're here to remind me of my magnificence. Help me awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. You're here to remind me how much I'm truly loved. I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved.
That was awesome, Kong. Thanks for setting up. Nice. Good morning, namaste. My name is Valerie, and for those of you that don't know me, I'm a practitioner here at Namaste, and I have the pleasure of kicking our service off. In a little bit, you're going to get to be with Bobby and Lori at Lori and Robin's home in Anaheim. Our service kicks off with great sadness and joy as we, for those of you that may not know, our precious Robin Maddox made her transition on Tuesday morning. And it was filled with grace and beauty, and she was in the arms of her beloved. And it was a sacred and precious moment. And we dedicate this service to precious Robin. And also RBG passing as well. And so I want to thank Nikki for giving me the perfect poem to honor both of these great women by Maya Angelou. So we're going to start our service off with that. And if you want to, you can close your eyes. Sometimes receiving a poem is much like a meditation. So just receive it that way if you want to close your eyes. When great trees fall. When great trees fall, rocks on distant hills shudder. Lions hunker down in tall grasses, and even elephants lumber after safety. When great trees fall in forests, small things recoil into silence, their senses eroded beyond fear. When great souls die, the air around us becomes light, rare, sterile. We breathe briefly. Our eyes briefly see with a hurtful clarity. Our memory suddenly sharpened, examines, gnaws on kind words unsaid, promised walks never taken. Great souls die, and our reality bound to them takes leave of us. Our souls dependent upon their nurture now shrink, wizened. Our minds, formed and informed by their radiance, fall away. We are not so much maddened as reduced to the unutterable ignorance of dark, cold caves. And when great souls die after a period, peace blooms, slowly and always irregularly. Spaces fill with a kind of soothing electric vibration. Our senses restored, never to be the same, whisper to us, they existed. They existed. We can be and be better, for they existed. Rest in peace, Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Robin Maddox. We dedicate this service to you. May your memories be a blessing. So with that, I just invite you to move into the stillness for a moment. So we just acknowledge this moment of great passing, this moment of great transition. Just taking pause and feeling that passing and that transition in our own lives. Feeling the feelings that come up as we just take pause. So much, any of you that go to our morning calls at 7 a.m., I find myself in moments of meditation, putting my hand on my heart and my belly. And so if that feels comfortable, you might want to do the same or not. Just placing your hands wherever it's comfortable. It might be in your lap. Might be folded. We just take pause today to just listen and be. Honoring, honoring, honoring. So with that, I'm going to take us out of our pause and we're going to go back in a little bit. Besides the passing of these great women in our community and our world, we're coming up Tuesday to a season change. And I don't know about you, but the darker mornings, it's been so much harder to get up in the morning. I usually get up somewhere in the 5:30 hour, but it's still dark at 6 o'clock and I just don't want to get up when it's dark. I'm solar powered. So we're coming upon the fall equinox this Tuesday. And besides feeling into the expression of oneness, this equinox also serves as a reminder to bring some balance into our lives and to take ownership of the direction we're heading in. After the fall equinox, the nights become longer and the days longer than the days, as we're already starting to experience, right? The nights are becoming longer than the days. We're losing those yummy long summer days that we all so much enjoy that bring out that play. So today I'd like to lead us in a simple equinox ritual to release whatever's holding us back. And, before we get into that, I just want to, talk a little bit about that and do a little bit of a share that kind of ties into what Bobbi's going to be talking about today, and then we'll do our ritual. So the tree doesn't overthink shedding its leaves. It just knows, right? The season is changing. It's, leaves have served their purpose and, they've reached their end, and the tree just gracefully lets them go. And the tree knows that it's time to rest, and it knows it's time to turn inward and to do the inside work of creating new life, new growth. Spring's fresh leaves and its gorgeous flowers. But first, it has to let go. The same is true for us as well. Nature's a beautiful teacher, and we can just look out into nature to figure out how we're supposed to do it, people. It's a nice little example. If you ever get stuck, just look at nature. So in order to experience beautiful, vibrant, new growth in our lives, we have to let go of the things we just don't need anymore. And those things that no longer serve us, things that we've outgrown, things that are holding us back. In order to transform and grow, we first have to let go. And this week, When Bobbi and I were doing what we like to call weaving, we had a little short weaving session because Bobbi's got a lot going on in her world right now with a remodel at home and a million other things with Namaste. So we weaved quickly and efficiently. And she asked me this question that I will invite you to ponder, was a regret that I had. And what was most interesting about the question was my reaction to it. When the answer to the question came, I was embarrassed. How could this like simple moment in high school still be coming up as a regret? And I was embarrassed to even tell Bobbi what the regret was. And this morning, as I reflected on this, I did tell her. It was, but I reflected on this more and it took it deeper. And these were things that came up for me to share with you all today. Bobbi's going to talk about faith and what is our faith in. And she's going to invite us to ponder this and go deep in exploring it. And as I took this moment of regret in my life, there are rich and beautiful lessons. First, the regret was around innocence lost. And I had faith and embarrassment that my thoughts and feelings were stupid. Here, this thought and feeling came up, and I wanted to minimize my feelings. I named them stupid. My embarrassment was an action I was taking to keep that belief of my feelings are stupid. And I want to point out that our words are powerful. So note the subtle difference in I'm stupid. It's I'm not stupid, even though on occasion I mess up and do, call myself stupid. But it's that I was putting faith in my belief of my feelings are stupid, right? Like that was where my belief was. And that's not true, right? That's not true. And so the big takeaway and the invitation for you and us today is to know thyself. When I pondered this invitation that Bobbi's going to give us about what are we putting our faith in, it's like I have to know myself before I can even understand that question, right? And so as I pondered what I'm putting my faith in, it started with a willingness to listen deeply and to, with loving compassion, inquiry, seek to know myself. And what may come up doesn't look pretty or how we want it to look, but it's the beauty of us. And so, I come back to artwork. It's beautiful because of all the diverse colors in it. We're beautiful because of all the diverse colors in us. And so in our meditation, ritual, spiritual practice today, the invitation is to look at, what you're ready to release. Is there a regret that you have? What is that regret? Is there, something to release around that regret that you might have? So I just, invite you to close your eyes if you haven't already. And we're just going to go into a just short little time of ritual and releasing. Just letting yourself relax. For me, I carry a lot of tension up here. So just consciously letting yourself relax. Maybe like rolling your head around a few times, shrugging your shoulders, just really getting present in your body. Taking a few breaths as we just settle in and soften. A word I like to use a lot, just soften. The world outside is so hard. There's so much going on in the external world. So just inviting ourselves to soften is a good thing to remember. So we soften this morning and inviting in that regret or that something that we need to release, whether it's a story or an idea or a false belief or a pattern or a way of being. We just invite in whatever that is. With Thich Nhat Hanh, if it's something, like I was embarrassed about, whatever, something don't want to look at, just Thich Nhat Hanh says, embrace it, put your arm around it and, oh, beloved, embrace that part of you that you maybe don't like or want to judge. What am I willing to release during this rich fall equinox season where the trees are showing me how easy it is to release? Where am I ready to receive more love in my life? Where am I ready to see differently? Just allowing those inquiries. to be felt and known. Just listening deeply. It's safe to listen deeply. You're safe. You're held, you're loved, you're supported. We listen with gentle, loving kindness to what our heart wants to speak. What do I need to let go of to allow a new way of being? What am I called to release? Just allowing the love of the message to wash over you. It's safe to just release all that no longer serves. It's a natural course of the season of nature of our lives. So we just, with deep loving kindness, allow whatever has revealed itself. We place it on that altar of love, allowing it to just fall away, releasing with love and grace and ease, emerging, taking a little wiggle, feeling the freshness, feeling the newness, feeling that energy, that new energy. We say yes to that new energy, clapping your hands, just inviting it, just tapping your body, your shoulders, just connecting with yourself. As we're coming to the beginning of our service, just inviting you to continue in that contemplative space as we open our service with prayer, just recognizing the one infinite intelligence living in, through, and as my life, as the life of Bobbi and Lori and Robin and Kong and Debbie Ann and all that have said yes to serving this day, to birth this service for our congregation. We just know that this service unfolds with ease and beauty and grace and joy and lightness and connection. And we are so grateful for technology that allows us to be together in community. During this time of shelter, we give deep thanks for our technology. We give thanks for the transition and the movement of spirit that is our life, that is our community, that is the service. We give thanks for spirit that sings through Kong and speaks through Bobbi. We give thanks for Robin and Lori's beautiful space where this service is being held. We give thanks for all of our amazing Namaste community. It says yes over and over and over and over again, that there is a yes that is the living being of this community. And so we just surrender to the I am that I am, releasing this prayer, saying, and so it is, and so I let it be. Amen.
Thank you, Val. Thank you, Namaste, for joining us here today. This is a song suggested to me by Bobbi in honor of Robin Maddox Day. It's by Faith Hill, and it's called Secret of Life. Couple guys sitting around drinking down at the Starlight Bar. One of them says, you know, I've been thinking. Other one says that won't get you too far. He says, this is your life and welcome to it. It's just working, drinking, and dreams. Ad on TV says just do it. Hell if I know what that means. The secret of life is a good cup of coffee. The secret of life is keep your eye on the ball. The secret of life is a beautiful woman. Marilyn stares down from the barroom wall. You and me were just a couple zeros, just a couple of down and outs. movie stars and football heroes. What do they have to be unhappy about? Sam says, what's the key to unlock that door? Unlock that door. Sam don't say nothing, just wipes off the counter, and he pours them a couple more. Secret of life is in Sam's martinis. Secret of life is in Marilyn's eyes. Secret of life is in Monday Night Football, Rolling Stones records, and Mom's apple pie. Sam looks up from his Sunday paper, says, boys, you're on the wrong track. Secret of life is there ain't no secret, and you don't get your money back. The secret of life is getting up early. The secret of life is staying up late. The secret of life is trying not to hurry, but don't wait, don't wait. The secret of life is a good cup of coffee. The secret of life is keep your eye on the ball. The secret of life is to find the right woman. The secret of life is nothing, nothing at all. Nothing at all. The secret of life. Couple guys sitting around drinking down at the Starlight Bar. One of them says, you know I've been thinking. Other one says that won't get you too far.
Thank you, Kong. That was absolutely beautiful. Good morning, namaste. Happy Sunday. What a blessing it is to be in communion with you today and every Sunday. I am here to share some announcements with you and to read about who we are. So if everybody could join me wherever you are. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you, which is love, truth, light, and peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we recognize that we are one. Namaste. Okay, and this is our lovely mission statement, our whenever I have monkey mind, this helps me. It kind of is very cyclical, and I can just go in circles with it, but at the same time, brings me back to the very beginning. I learn practical science of mind tools and practice in a loving, connective, and vibrant community to reveal my power and change my life. And here the cycle begins. I awaken, I realize, I transform, and I repeat. And I just keep going in circles. And, eventually it's just a progress. We get there. And we are a thriving, dynamic spiritual community. Hashtag we are namaste. Hashtag this stuff works. Very powerful. And okay, we are doing bingo. Bingo is back. Tuesday, September 22nd at 7 p.m. Come and join us. You can invite anybody to this event. It's going to be super fun. It's going to be lots of connection. You get to play bingo. You may win cash. It's going to be great fun. If you've joined it before, you know, but invite whoever you know to join us. You need to purchase your bingo cards by 3 p.m. the day of the bingo game, which is the 22nd. So come and join us on Zoom. You don't want to miss out. Okay, we're going to do Church in the Park. I am super excited for this. You have to RSVP. The details are going to go out on Monday. It's next Sunday, September 27th at 10 a.m. And we're all going to meet safely, socially distanced, and you're going to get all the details if you've RSVP'd on Monday. So join us. And join something else. Join the choir. Our virtual choir under Alan Arnett. And as you can see, all these beautiful, lovely faces, and they're singing. And again, another way to connect with the Namaste community. Email Marilee Adler if you have any questions. And connect with us daily at 7 a.m. Our practitioners are here to offer prayer and support. It's Monday through Friday. It's on Zoom, or you can join by phone and just feel the beautiful power of prayer.
Good morning, Debbie Ann. It's good to see you this morning.
Good morning, Reverend Bobbi. Nice to see you.
Thank you for doing the announcements. There's lots happening. Make sure everybody pays attention because we got some changes coming we don't want you to miss out. So thanks for reminding everyone. Good morning, Namaste. So I'm here at Lori Winterroud and Robin Maddox's home here in Anaheim and doing service from this beautiful location and having the absolute privilege to sit with Lori, and Robin's Ashens are here with us, and my wife Janine, but getting to sit here and to feel in this space of where Robin most recently was in her human form. It is a privilege, and our practitioners, I just want to thank them for the support of everyone, for the family here, because this is one of those times in life that we shine. We shine, and I want to thank Candace and Valerie for doing such an exquisite job. I got to be part of these two and their beautiful life and their relationship, and it really went deep about a year and a few months ago. And I was able to officiate their wedding, and my little family was there supporting them. And I know there's family of theirs that's online right now. Julie, Jean, Sarah, Kathy, Debbie, Sharon, and Luann, and others that are here to be part of today's service. And we thank you for supporting Lori. You need no thanks or encouragement. That's just who you are. But it's important at this time. So today's service in honor of Robin, and what a tremendous legacy she left with Namaste. She's always been part of the choir. She's been part of the community for a long time. She brought Lori into it, so which we've been so gifted with her and who she is. To be part of someone's life, to be witness to someone's life is truly an honor, and we're so grateful that I know my family's grateful that we got to be part of their lives and to be part of the experience of who they are. And Robin, so deep and just wanting to make a difference on the planet. It always felt like to me that Robin wanted to be the best she could be. She wanted people to know that they were loved by her. She wanted to make sure that her family was okay when she left. And that just speaks so much of her. And so today at the service, as it is, we're holding the service in her honor. I wanted to introduce the song that's coming up, which is Somewhere Over the Rainbow, to which Kong will do, which will bring in, again, that deeper experience of who our beautiful Robin Maddox was and is. So Kong, go ahead and get us started for the day.
Thank you, Bobbi. up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Ooh, somewhere over the rainbow, birds fly, and the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops, high above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. The birds fly, and the dreams that you dare to, oh why can't I? Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dare to, why, oh, why can't
Thank you for that, Kong. Tears here at Lori's house, Lori and Robin's house, and just a little special message from Lori and Robin. There will be a service to honor the life of Robin. It will be when science is a little bit more allowing for folks to be safe. So Lori asked me to announce that. So we'll keep you posted, the community of Namaste. Thank you so much. Wow. You know, there's so much. I mean, Justice Ginsburg and the legacy she leaves, you know, in the specific places she leaves, as well as what Robin has left for Namaste, neither one is more important. They're both so special. And I think that's what we get to understand and know if we choose and if we open to it, the fact that each one of us are such a special gift. And as and when folks leave this planet, at least in our own understanding, the physical understanding of it, we get to be in that space of holding sort of vigil with each other. And I'm really grateful that we get to do that as Namaste. This whole month, the theme has been around facing the fear. And it's really been in the context of faith and what is faith. We had the question of faith on the 6th, which I had our beautiful guest, Derek Raymond, and September 13, which is skepticism, doubt, and faith. Oh my. To today, which I wanted to talk about this, do I have faith? Do you have faith? As I was preparing for the talk this morning, the story hit me, which happens all the time, you know, when I'm listening and I'm thinking, I don't necessarily connect it. But I went and rewatched the movie Saving Mr. Banks. And it's such a beautiful story. And I've often wondered why stories like that hit me so deeply. And I've come to understand this week that the reason is because there is a reconciliation that happens in that story. And that's part of my personality, is to always seek for reconciliation. I don't always get it when I want, and that's where my rub is. But it's the journey of my life. Saving Mr. Banks is the story of the creator of Mary Poppins, which is P.L. Travers. And for 20 years, Walt Disney had been trying to talk Mrs. Travers into selling Mary Poppins and the story of Mary Poppins, giving the rights to him to make a movie out of it. And he had been so unsuccessful. And she just did not want Mary Poppins to be made into a movie. And she was very protective of the material, especially with Walt Disney, because she didn't think that the Disney brand could mesh with what she felt about Mary Poppins. She feared that he would turn the stories into an animated mess, to be honest. And she didn't want her beautiful, beloved character, Mary Poppins, to become synonymous with Mickey Mouse. That just wasn't in her story. But Travers hadn't written for quite a few years, and she was running out of money. And so she agrees now to at least meet with these representatives of Disney in Los Angeles, California, to which she had never been. And she agreed to go through the script. And if at the end she would approve of the movie script, she would turn the rights over to Disney and he could do the movie. And this was something that Disney had never agreed to do with anyone. He loved the stories of Mary Poppins. There's multiple books of Mary Poppins, and he loved them because his daughters loved them. And he had made a commitment to do the story, and he felt that the story had touched his daughters to an extent that he wanted to make them a movie. Now, the representatives of Disney that were working with her on the screenplay were some of the top talent in the movie industry. But they continued to have this somewhat antagonistic relationship because they wanted to make Mary Poppins a musical, and Mrs. Travers wanted nothing to do with the musical. But over time, things started to open, but still, Mrs. Travers felt that if you could look at Walt Disney and Pamela Travers, you would see that they were in many ways the antithesis of each other. They were not similar in any way. He was very casual. He called everyone by their first name and expected the same. She called everyone by a formal name and would call him Mr. Disney, even though he would call her Pamela, and it just irked her. And what ended up happening that became sort of pushed her out was he wanted to include some animation into the film, and that was her last straw. Not that the film was animated, but there was animation in it. And she had said absolutely no animation. She leaves, she goes home. Now, during that time period, Disney started to pick up on a bit about why she was so protective of these characters, Mary Poppins, Mr. Banks. And he actually found out that she was not from England. She was actually from Australia, and she had hid that. And he found out that Mr. Banks was actually her father, and Mary Poppins was her aunt who had come in. And it was always through the story about saving the children, and what ended up happening was it was to save Mr. Banks. Such a beautiful story. And one of the quotes in the story, which I think is interesting, and Tori, go ahead and put up the next quote, which is, as he was talking with her about his own life, about his Elias Disney, his father, and the abuse that he had experienced, he turned to her and he says, "I'm tired of remembering my childhood that way. Aren't you tired too, Mrs. Travers? Don't you want to finish the story? Let it all go and have a life not dictated by the past." And so I think what's interesting about that is the fact that our faith is usually in a story. And the interesting part about the fact is I happen to be a worrier. That's part of my personality. I worry about everything. And I've really been working on that because the worry tends to put me in places where I have lots of anxiety. I drive my wife crazy. I drive a host of people crazy in that sense if they look close enough. For me, worry is in the story. It's whatever the story is that I'm telling myself in that moment. So here's my story. My story is built on a belief about my place or part in a story. And I always place myself in a particular place in a story. I'm the victim in the story, of course, always, if I'm worried about it. But I've also placed myself in a story of being perfect. I must be perfect. It must unfold in a particular way sometimes. And it may not be the details of how it unfolds, but for me at the end, I must be perfect in that. Now, I've released a lot around that, but I still work with that quite a bit. And I know my wife would say, yes, you do. And so, but the thing is that in my story, I worry because am I not good enough? Am I not perfect enough? Did I say the right thing? Did I do the right thing? Oh, I could have done it that way or that way. I've kept myself up nights over that. And so our lives are dictated by the past stories. And as Disney said, aren't you tired of remembering it that way? Because the story that we remember is not the truth, actually. It's just the story we tell ourselves. It's not the truth. It's not really what happened. It's just our version of us and what happened to us or as us in the story. And so when Walt Disney says, finish the story, I think what's interesting about that is it's time to let go of the story and its power in us, which means my faith in that story continues. I keep affirming that story and what it means. Was I good enough in that? And I keep affirming, was I good enough in it? Or I made a mistake, and I keep affirming that, which is affirming the very thing that I want to let go. Even in the case of if there's been abuse in the house as a child, I grew up in a household that was challenging at best. What is the story of me in that? And how do I want to play in that? Which is, how do I want to be in it? Whatever it is, what is the story I have with my child? What is the story I have with my spouse? What is the story I have in any situation? Now, one of the things that Walt Disney said is it's important. We are all storytellers. Even if you don't think you can tell a story, you are playing out a story in your life, in your head. And he says this, and go ahead and put up the next slide, Tori. He says, let me take the story, Mary Poppins. Let me take the story and honor that story of truly your father and Mary Poppins. Because he said that's what storytellers do. We restore order with imagination. We instill hope again and again. Our stories have power, and we get to tell our story, yes, to heal it. But if we keep telling the same story, that's where we've placed our faith. We always have faith, by the way. It's just, where is it and what is it placed in? So I'm going to ask you a quick question, and on the comment side, I just want you to, if you're willing to, and I've got Lori here and I've got Janine here, and they're going to talk to me, maybe. And the question I have is, and I've asked a few people this question, including Valerie, and I asked Janine, and I'm not going to ask her to answer that because it was between us. But if you could travel back in time and you could change one choice you made, what would that be? Let's just take a moment. You're going to see me here standing, which is not what you're supposed to do virtual, but I'm going to just take a moment. If you could travel back in time and you could change one choice you made, what would it be? Don't go to the second choice, go to the first thing that popped into your head. What's the first thing that popped into your head? What is that choice? If you want to share in the room. If you don't, it's okay too. What do you got, Lori?
Okay. It was the first flash. I would have been nicer in the moment to an ex-boss of mine who, in that time, I was angry and hurt, and I said something not nice.
So what Lori just said is she had an incident with a boss in which she had responded not very nice, and she regrets how she responded. And I'm sure we all have things like that. I have that. I had a regret for the college I chose. See, I can still remember that, and I was 18. Because I chose from a place of fear, and I always looked at that as being just a choice made from a place of being weak. So I'm just going to look at some of what folks have said in here To give my, Ray Bradford, I love you, Ray, says to give my power up others who didn't serve me. We have stories, we have regrets, and yet the very things that we say shouldn't have happened or whatever, they teach us. They teach us a little bit more about who we are, and they do not characterize who we are, ever. We learn from them, and everyone, I could honestly say, I have never heard someone say they made a choice, and it was a particular choice they made that I have not heard someone say before. Now, we have this idea of how life is supposed to be and how it's supposed to unfold, and it doesn't do it that way. It never does. You know, it's like the song, the secret of life is everything. And can I take some of the choices I made and can I let them go? Can I restore order with allowing that something else in that story to reveal itself, to be the gift that it can be in my life? Can I let that happen? We can finish the story. We can heal it. We can use the tools that we teach here at Namaste, and we can transcend that story. We can step beyond the habit of living the story over and over in our heads, and how that story may have made us look in our minds, how that story may reflect back maybe that I'm not good enough or whatever it is, because it's not true. It's not true. We can move beyond it and know that we are loved for who we are, that we are loved for who we are, and there is nothing to do to change the story. We can step beyond the habit of living that old story and step into a new way of being, because stories have power. They are the place that we lean into. They are what we learn a greater idea of the truth of what life, the secret of life. You see, because when I put faith in what's true, I'm putting faith in that everything is God. Every event, every situation, every circumstance. I put my faith in what's true. And when I do that, I make faith into the power that it is, because when I put faith in an old story, Ernest Holmes calls it misplaced faith. I can give power to anything. I can give power to anything. Ernest Holmes, one of the quotes he said in the Sermon by the Sea, he said, "Find me somebody who has detached his emotional and psychological ego from the real self, without having to deny the place it plays in the scheme of things, and without slaying any part of himself because of the transcendence is there also. And I will have discovered the ineffable in this individual and a direct pathway to the communion of my own soul. Can I allow my stories that I seem to have faith in, whether it was a mistake and I place my faith in that mistake as if that mistake dictates my life? We know in Science of Mind we have a choice every moment, and that choice erases, because the choice is to have faith in all that is God. Faith, Ernest Holmes says, faith is a faculty of mind that finds its highest expression in our spiritual attitudes. Ernest, Science of Mind has been such a gift. It's been the place in which I've enabled myself to transcend many of my stories that have held me down and limited the expression of who I am. And I know that's true for all of you. Tori, go ahead and put up the next slide, because Ernest said there must come a time in our experience when we speak the conviction that is within us. The conviction of the spiritual universe is what in which we live is real and powerful. The light cannot be borrowed from another. Each has been furnished with a divine torch whose wick burns from the oil of the eternal and ever-renewing substance of faith in oneself and in others. Each one of us have a light within us, and it burns no matter what we do. We cannot extinguish it with any faith in any mistake, with any faith in any story. It is up to us to choose what we want to have faith in. And it's not just a matter of choice, by the way, even though we've made it that, I say, simple, not easy. It's a practice. Every time the story comes up, we must choose to believe a greater truth. You see, the lesson is simple enough. When we ask for anything, we are to believe that we have it. But we are to ask for that which is in unity with life. This unity includes health, happiness, and success. These are native to the atmosphere of God and to the atmosphere of the inner self, which is Christ. Ernest Holmes invites us, let us dislodge doubt, fear, and unbelief, and trust implicitly in the good that is God. I'm so grateful to get to have this experience today of being here with Robin. I feel it. It's funny. Lori was gonna come, but no, Robin just popped right in and said, "No, I'm here, Reverend Bobbi." It's all God and it's all good, and I'm grateful to know that right now. I'm grateful to know that right now. So in prayer today, let us just hold all that is as God. Let us recognize and know this goodness that is God. Let us allow this ineffable presence that is God, that is in all things and in me, to be that which I remember in this moment. For it is this expression of God that is revealed to me when I am open to it. So right now I open to it, and I know this is true for each one of you who are present here today. As we honor our beloved Robin in this service today and our beloved Justice Ginsburg today, let us just know that their paths are a demonstration of this greater experience, this greater knowing that is God. Each have touched us and reminded us that we are truly human and divine, with divine being the entire container for it all. We cannot be anything less, for it is our divine inheritance. I am grateful to know that I have choice. I'm grateful to know that I have choice in my life and how I choose to see myself and others. And what I am so grateful in this experience today is the face of God is in everything. And I anchor to that belief right here and right now and allow it to be so. And so it is. Thank you for joining us today. Namaste. I'm so grateful to get to have today in this beautiful backyard with Robin's sound chime just over my shoulder. Feels like she's, kind of touching me on the shoulder and saying, that was pretty good, Reverend Bobbi, through my own filter. Today, as we give, it's our conscious giving time. I just ask you to take the gift that you may have already given or the gift that you're about to give and just place that gift on your heart. And for those of you that are new, the reason I do that or may not have heard me is the fact that I put my hand on my heart is to remember from which the gift came from. Not from a place of have to or shame or is it enough or whatever it is, but the place that whatever I give is enough. Because I give where I'm at. And that is the beautiful expression of giving in itself. So I just take that gift that you have given and let us just hold it for all that we do as a community. This community has always been destined for such amazing work we have done and continue to do and will do. So I just express my gratitude for how this gift paves the way. It allows us to do the things that you're able to participate in today, like this service and anything else. So in that, I just say, thank you, God, for that gift. And so it is. Amen. I'm looking for my order of service because for some reason I'm not clear. So we're going to do our benediction and then we're going to have Kong close us and we'll do a few thank yous. Tori, would you just pop up real quick though? Would you do that for me?
Hello.
And Tori, who's over your shoulder?
Oh, there's a very handsome gentleman here with us. That's why we're masking it today.
I see that. And I just want to thank you both and thank you for what you've done, Tori and Sean. Thank you for participating today. I'm so excited. So thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll do our benediction today. I love this benediction. And I stepped away from it for a little while because we were just in a different place, but we are about to come together again. So make sure you join us this next Sunday as we do service in the park. We have not been together for 6 months. Hello. So grateful. So grateful. So will you say this with me? And this is our We Are Namaste. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is all that I am. Life is all that we are. Added a line there. I accept it. I am it. I share it with all, just the way it appears and just the way it appears not. Thank you, life. So, Kong.
Hello, Bobby.
Nice job today. Thank you so much for how you show.
Of course, thank you. And thank everyone at Namaste, and especially Robin today. Thank you. Sing along with me wherever you are so we can stand together, no matter how far apart. Something great is happening, love is taking hold and it won't let go of us now. Something here is calling us forward, upward motion with drops in one ocean. Roll on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. In the dream of your highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Together now. Every day's a chance you can do something amazing to feel your passion blazing and shine. Paint with every vision and dance in new directions. Explode to new heights in your mind. I will rise up with you today. Lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Let the dream of your highest calling be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Together now. One dream, one voice, one heart, one word. One dream, one voice, one heart, one word. Sing it with me. One dream, one voice, one heart, one word. Let the dream of your highest calling be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Together now, yeah. Together now. Together now. One dream, one voice, one heart, one word.
Hey, here with all of our people here at Namaste. Let me have just 2 reminders before I go, because we are going to remind you, period. 2 things. Service is next Sunday. Go onto our website. There's a link. You can RSVP. If you don't RSVP, you won't get an email that tells you where we're going. And that's part of the state mandate. So we're really trying to adhere, and it's specifically some of the guidelines for the County of Los Angeles. So if you want to be there, make sure you RSVP. And if you have any issue, you know how to reach out to us. Just go on the website and you can find all that information. The second thing is, beginning October 4th, Namaste is going to be meeting in its new building. Service will start at 4:30 p.m. So for those of you that love to sleep till noon, you're thrilled. For those of you that love to have breakfast while you're doing Namaste, now you get to have an early dinner. And so, but what you're going to get to see that's different is this awesome guy next to me right here. He and I are going to, for the first time, get to be together in the same room. We're going to have some folks in. It's going to be so amazing to get to talk to a few people like today that I get to do, which is wonderful. Please put those on your calendar. October 4th, 4:30 p.m. service starts, period, going forward. And service in the park is next weekend. So thank you all. Thank you, Kong.
Thank you, Bobbi. Thank you.
Really appreciate it. In fact, I'll see you very soon, my friend.
Indeed.
So have a wonderful week. Kong, have a great week.
Thank you. You too.
And I'll see you soon. And thank you. Namaste.